Hi everyone, this is Dr. Praveen S. Patil here. Today we are going to discuss about the ischiorectal and perianal spaces mainly, and some other small spaces in and around the anal canal. So before going to the spaces in detail, so I'd like to explain you the few of the structures. So this is the circular coat of the rectum, and this is the broader structure is called as the internal sphincter, and the outer structure is called as the external sphincter, and this is the levator ani muscles, and this is the obturator internus, and this is the skin, anus, and these are the fat lobules. And you can see a neurovascular bundle here. This is called as Alcock's canal or pudendal canal, and this is the peritoneal reflex. So the space above the levator ani is called as supralevator space, and below this wedge shaped structure. So wedge shape means one side is having broader end and another side it has sharper end, and hence it is called as wedge shaped. So this wedge shaped structure is called as ischiorectal fossa. Ischiorectal fossa consists of ischiorectal space and perianal space. So ischiorectal fossa, will discuss about the ischiorectal fossa, not the ischiorectal space. So from here to here, this is the ischiorectal space. Perianal ligament to skin is called as perianal space. So but we are talking about the ischiorectal fossa altogether. So ischiorectal fossa, so medially it is covered by the coverings of the levator ani and the fascia covering the external sphincter, and laterally it is covered by the fascia covering the obturator internus, and inferiorly the skin is covered, and anteriorly some loose areolar tissue is there. Antero-posterior diameter of this ischiorectal fossa is about 2 inch, and width is about 1 inch, and from base to the apex is approximately 2.5 inch. So these are the dimension of ischiorectal fossa. We look at this diagram here. So as we know, this is the internal sphincter and this is the external sphincter. So this is the circular muscles of the rectum, and we get the longitudinal muscles here. So these longitudinal muscles at the end of the internal sphincter, this will get diverged into multiple septa, and this will crosses the in between the internal sphincter and subcutaneous external sphincter, as well as in between the superficial to subcutaneous internal sphincter, and in between the superficial sphincters. So deepest part, the septum, which get emerged at the level of the Hilton's line, he says, at this line. Hilton's line means the space between the internal sphincter and the subcutaneous external sphincter. Approximately this level is the Hilton's line. At this level there will be a diversion of the some fibers of the longitudinal muscles. So this fiber will run in this fashion and moves to join the Alcock's canal. You can see here, so this is the perianal fascia, so which is moving in the horizontal fashion and joins this Alcock's canal. So this is going to divide the ischiorectal space and the perianal space. You can see in the figure also the fat locules which are loosely arranged in the perianal space, and here these are the densely arranged. but this space is more taut than this. So any abscess or any collection in this area will lead into more painful condition rather than the ischiorectal space collection. You can see here, when we look into the anal glands, so it crosses most of the anal glands will be submucosal. They will restrict their movement or their extension here only, and some glands will cross the internal sphincter and reach the intersphincteric space. Between the internal sphincter and external sphincter, the space is present, that is intersphincteric space, and it will reach here. This is the maximum extension of the anal glands. So it usually, or it never crosses the external sphincters. So that's why, so this is the common site for the infection. So this ischiorectal fossa space, any collection here, it will be less painful and huge collection will be there. So there is a chances of spreading into the other opposite side through the space called Courtney, space of Courtney. That is, the space of Courtney is, so here when you look into this superficial external sphincter and subcutaneous external sphincter, and this is the superficial external sphincter. So at the posterior side of the anal region, so below this space, that is the post-anal space, that is called as superficial post-anal space, and above this superficial external sphincter, the space which is formed, that is called as deep post-anal space here on the posterior side of the anal region. So that is the passage through which any ischiorectal abscess can spread into another side. And the other spaces in and around the anal canal are submucosal space. Mucosa, this is submucosal space. So this is also a site for the infection. Pelvirectal space. So this is the peritoneum and this is the levator, and this space is called as pelvirectal space. So any collection here or fistula formation originating from this side or involvement of this side is called as high anal fistulas. And another one is central space. So the space between the longitudinal fibers of the anal canal, longitudinal muscle fibers, the space between the longitudinal muscle fibers and subcutaneous external sphincter, this is called as the central space. And the space between the internal sphincter and the external sphincter, this is called as intersphincteric space. So this is the common site for the infection. That's why what is the cause and all we have discussed, because the anal glands ends here maximum. So this is the common site of infection. And post-anal space, as we have discussed, in the posterior side of the anal region, above the subcutaneous sphincter and below the superficial sphincter is called as superficial post-anal space. Above the superficial external sphincter, below the deep external sphincter, this is called as deep post-anal space. So post-anal space, posterior side of the anal, anococcygeal attachment comes, no? So there, so that is called as post-anal space. So this is about the ischiorectal fossa and some other submucosal, pelvirectal, central, intersphincteric and post-anal spaces. So for the revision, so this is the pelvirectal fossa, pelvirectal space, and this is the ischiorectal fossa, and this is ischiorectal space. So this is the lunate fascia comes here, lunate fascia, and the fascia covering the external sphincter and the fascia covering the internal obturator, and this is the perianal fascia. So these are the boundaries of the ischiorectal space, and this is the perianal space. Submucosal space, central space between the longitudinal fibers and the subcutaneous external sphincter, and intersphincteric space between the external sphincter and internal sphincter, that is intersphincteric space, and the postanal space. So between the postanal space is divided into superficial and deep. Before the superficial external sphincter, before the superficial external sphincter, that is the superficial postanal space, and after the superficial external sphincter, that is the deep anal space, deep postanal space. So these are the ischiorectal space, perianal space, and rest of the small spaces in and around the anal canal. So this is all about the spaces around the anal canal. If you find it's a worth value, then kindly subscribe and press the bell icon. Thank you. Thanks for watching my video.